Most drivers think interior damage happens suddenly. A cracked dashboard, faded seats, brittle trim. But the truth is, sun damage rarely appears overnight. It builds quietly, day after day, until one day you notice your car doesn't feel the same anymore. Sun exposure is one of the most underestimated factors in long-term vehicle wear. Even when temperatures feel mild, sunlight continues to affect the materials inside your car every time it's parked or driven in daylight. Ultraviolet radiation passes easily through glass and lands directly on your dashboard, seats, door panels, and center console. Over time, it breaks down the molecular structure of leather, vinyl, plastic, and fabric. This process causes fading, drying, and eventual cracking. The damage happens gradually, which is why many drivers don't notice it until it becomes permanent. Heat plays a role too. As sunlight enters the cabin, surfaces absorb energy and warm up. When the car cools down later, those materials contract again. This repeated cycle of heating and cooling creates stress. Dashboards warp, plastics become brittle, leather loses flexibility. The interior ages quietly with every temperature change. Dust makes the problem worse. Fine particles settle on interior surfaces and act like abrasives. When sunlight hits those particles, it increases glare and accelerates surface wear. Even a clean-looking interior can be under constant stress if dust isn't removed regularly. One of the reasons sun damage is so easy to ignore is because it doesn't affect drivability right away. The car still runs, the seats still work, the dashboard still looks acceptable, but comfort slowly changes. Glare becomes more noticeable, materials feel stiffer, the cabin feels harsher than it used to. By the time cracking or severe fading appears, the damage is already deep. Interior restoration is difficult and expensive once materials break down. The good news is that awareness makes a huge difference. Simple habits can slow interior aging dramatically. Paying attention to glare and heat buildup, keeping surfaces clean so dust doesn't magnify exposure, being mindful of how long a vehicle sits in direct sunlight, noticing changes in comfort instead of ignoring them. Interior protection isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Small actions repeated over time preserve materials far more effectively than reacting after damage appears. Sun exposure is unavoidable, but long-term damage doesn't have to be. Understanding how sunlight quietly affects your car helps you make better decisions and protect the space you spend so much time in. If you have questions about interior wear, visibility, or long-term vehicle protection, the team at Signature Tint Design in Palm Desert has decades of experience helping drivers understand how environmental exposure affects their vehicles. Your car's interior tells a story of how it's been treated over time. The sooner you start paying attention, the longer it stays comfortable, functional, and like new.